Hi, Melanie. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, Melissa. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. This
Good.
weekend, having the sunshine, I just feel like, again, it gave me life and a really great start to the week already. And just, sunshine makes a big difference.
It sure does. Yeah, I can't wait for this week. It's supposed to be nice all week. And last week, so many people that I talked to last week said they felt depressed because of the rain, well, and everything else. But the rain just kind of put the icing on the cake for
Yeah,
feeling depressed and low and down. So I'm really hoping that this will make a difference for all of us today, this week.
fingers crossed.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
yep.
this week, go ahead.
We're going to talk about mindfulness. So I was going to say, like, even if we don't have a great week for whatever reason, we can always get in touch with a little peace and calmness by using some mindfulness strategies.
Hmm.
So today I promised that I would talk a little bit about what mindfulness is. We've been working on mindfulness for how long have we been doing this program series for?
This is actually our sixth week. And so, yeah, for 5 weeks now, we've had a mindfulness piece to all of our videos.
Yep. And our original intent was we were doing these series for folks who had been through our anxiety and change workshops, our emotion commotion workshops. But
Mhm.
turns out that actually these videos are helping a lot more people within the CAST community as well as, within the greater community.
Yeah,
So I
absolutely.
wanted to stop this week and talk a little bit about what is mindfulness and why do we even encourage people to learn
Yeah.
and practice mindfulness.
Yeah.
So mindfulness, really, my very favorite definition of mindfulness is the one that comes from Jon Kabat-Zinn, and Jon Kabat-Zinn has made, a lifetime career out of taking the Eastern practice and philosophies of mindfulness and bringing it into the West so that we could learn and practice and get, reap the same sort of benefits.
Hmm.
And so his definition is mindfulness means paying attention in a particular way on purpose, in the present moment, and without judgment.
Hmm.
So much of our time is, and worry and energy is spent on worrying about the things in the past that we wish we could have changed, we wish we could have done differently, lost opportunities, regrets. Or, we're spending time in the future worrying about what might happen or what if, or, worrying about whether or not we're going to, get our goals accomplished or what have you.
Hmm.
But neither of those can be changed. No matter how much we think about the past, we can't change it. No matter how much we forecast into the future, we can't change that either. All we have the ability to work on and to change is right here, right now, in this very moment.
Yeah, in this moment, exactly.
Yeah. Mindfulness allows us to take a break between, the worries of the past and the worrisome predictions of the future, and just focus on what's happening right here, right now.
Hmm.
And the without judgment piece is particularly important for emotion management because many of us will feel an emotion. I'm feeling irritated today. There must be something going on. There must be something that's irritating me. And we start looking around. Aha, that's what it is. Or, yeah, that's who it is.
Hmm.
Yes, that's irritating me. And I get on that irritation bus and I go for a ride and it becomes who I am for the day.
Yeah.
I let it take over.
Hmm.
But mindfulness allows us to sit with our emotions or our thoughts and see them as just mental events.
Right.
They're just a thought, it's just a feeling. We don't have to jump on that train and ride off with it and become that thought or that emotion. In fact, if we're using the train analogy, instead of getting on that train, why not sit on the bench out just inside of the train station and watch that train come, that irritability train come, and then watch it go.
Right. So I was going to ask, using your example of today, I feel irritable and I'm irritated, and it's you that's made me irritated. How would you go about that same example being mindful?
Okay. So being mindful would I would intentionally stop what I'm doing and get still.
Okay.
And I would acknowledge, oh, there's that feeling of irritability. And I'm feeling irritable, and it looks like, that person that I'm thinking about, or it feels like I want to just crawl out of my skin, or I want to go to my next door neighbors. Let's say that's who I'm irritable with. I
Yeah.
want to go to that person's house and I want to start yelling at them for parking their car in front of my house, or, whatever it is. And then I can just acknowledge it. Okay, that's what it looks like. That's what it feels like. So I'm going to start describing it as if I was an outsider looking in, as
Mm-hmm.
if I could take that irritability and put it outside of myself and now start exploring it without becoming it and letting
Right.
it take over, my whole mood.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can thank my mind, thank you for bringing that irritability to my attention. There's nothing to worry about. Actually, my neighbor isn't out to get me. So there's nothing that's unsafe about it. I thank you for, my brain for trying to protect me from danger.
Yeah.
There is no danger. It's just a feeling I'm having. It might it might even be worse right now because I'm tired or I'm hungry, so I'm just going to acknowledge that irritability and then let it go on its way. And most of the time, once we acknowledge it, it will just kind of fade away the same way that the sun fades every night.
Right.
It comes, it goes, it changes, and all we have to do is wait without
Right.
feeling to just pass.
Right. I have heard of that being called before, like being the gentle observer of
Yeah,
our thoughts. Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, that's a really beautiful way to talk about it, because gentle observer means that you're not pushing it away, you're not
Right.
denying that it exists, you're not saying to yourself, oh, you shouldn't feel that way, that's not okay. No, you're
Mm.
just accepting it and gently saying, thanks for being there. You're not, you don't need to protect me anymore.
Yeah.
You may go whenever you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Or you can even say, I'm going to acknowledge that feeling, I'm going to make space for it. Okay,
Yeah.
today I'm just struggling with a little irritability, but I don't have to cling
Absolutely.
on to it. I'll just make room for it.
Yeah. I think that's healthy too when you have some of those bigger feelings, in yourself the space that, okay, I am going to be sad, or I am going to be grouchy or angry or irritable right now, and then moving into some of that mindfulness and letting it go.
That's right, Melissa. You bring up a good point. Sometimes we're going through some feelings that are very important to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Like for this COVID-19, we're going through feelings of loneliness. We're going through feelings of confusion, or feeling like we don't have control anymore. And we don't necessarily have to just let those things go. We can make room for them and know that it's a normal, reasonable feeling in a
Mm-hmm.
situation like what we're in right now.
Right.
And so I can allow that to just be a part of me for a little while without beating myself up, or without, regretting it, or, chasing it away. Just let
Mhm.
that be who, or what I'm experiencing right now in this moment.
Right. And the other piece with being that gentle observer, sometimes I will have to go through a mindfulness activity or exercise more than one time and come back to that. And that's okay too.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I wanted to make certain about today with mindfulness, as you just brought up, is it's a journey. It's
Mhm.
not a beginning and an end, meaning that um, you don't just get really good at it and there, okay, I'm done that, been there, done that, got the prize, and I'm on to something else. It's actually something that you never really feel like you're 100% perfect at, because it goes against what our mind is mentally meant to do. So
Mhm.
it's just about practicing and just beginning again every time, just starting again. And some days it'll feel a little better than other days,
Mhm.
and that's just part of that journey.
Yeah. It truly is a practice for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why do we do it? Why do we spend time, continuing to work through it, to continuing to focus on being in the present moment, even when our brains want to go back to the past or go to the future?
Mhm.
Because research has shown that mindfulness has physical, emotional, mental, and social benefits for us. In
Wow.
so many ways, mindfulness will help us to be healthier. So we'll have physically healthier bodies if we
Mhm.
practice mindfulness. We'll have mentally healthier brains. So we'll have better memory, better focus, better understanding and appreciation for things.
Right.
And emotionally, we'll feel happier. We'll feel more satisfied. I mean, we're not going to be, happy all the time and never let anything get us down.
Right.
Not at all. But generally, we'll just be better able to tolerate the ups and downs that life continually throws at us.
Absolutely. Because that's one thing that's not going to stop.
Yeah, that is just not, yeah, that's right. Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
get better sleep. We'll feel more energized. The benefits are endless, really. Like they've really shown that it works really well.
I agree with that. Absolutely.
Yeah. So today I wanted to do just a really simple mindfulness. We've done a lot of mindfulness where we, focus on our breath and we work on our, internal states and, even do some imagery. But today I wanted to do something a little more tangible for folks.
Mhm.
One of the complaints I get from a lot of people is, Melanie, I can't just sit for 15 minutes and do nothing.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I get that. Like there's days where I don't want to do that either.
Yeah.
Um, the nice thing about mindfulness is you can also use mindfulness when you're active.
Okay.
For example, when you're washing dishes, focus in on how the water feels, how the bubbles feel. Is the water cool or hot? Are the dishes soft and smooth, or are they kind of gritty because of the food and the dirt on them?
Mhm.
What does it smell like as you're washing the dishes? What different smells come up? What does it sound like as you're scrubbing the dishes and the water is rinsing over top of them? Um, you could even gander a taste at so
Yeah.
basically what I'm encouraging people to do is whatever activity you're doing, get your five senses involved. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? What do you taste? And what do you feel? And so the mindfulness that we're going to do today is called the 5 things mindfulness.
Okay.
This is a really good mindfulness to get yourself focused back on the present. And because of that, it's really good if people are finding that they're being triggered by things in their environment,
Mhm.
meaning that if things in your environment are reminding you of the past, some of the trauma that you've had, some of the difficult moments that you've had, and you feel like you're getting lost in the past,
Yeah.
this is a really good mindfulness to bring you back to the here and now where you know you are safe,
Right.
you are supported, you are not in danger
Okay. In this moment.
in this moment. Yeah. So it just starts with the number 5.
Okay.
Let's do this together, Melissa. What are 5 things that you can see right now in your environment?
I can see bananas,
Ah,
see a plant. I can see my stove. I can see a picture on the wall. And I can see this picture behind me.
right. Yeah. So bringing your awareness to what is around you visually
Mhm.
allows you to remember, here I am in my home. These
Yeah.
things are mine. They're familiar to me. I am safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very grounding
Very.
to look around and see these things.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to 4. What
Okay.
are 4 things that you can feel right now?
I can feel the counter. I can feel my shirt on my skin. Um, I can feel the chair underneath me.
Yeah.
And being absolutely honest, I can feel this hair that keeps tickling my face somewhere.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. So isn't it funny how we can feel a lot if we pay attention?
Yes.
When we're going about our business, our brains are filtering all that out because it's not important.
Right.
But when you intentionally pay attention on purpose,
Mhm.
it brings to mind everything that's going on with our body and our skin.
Yeah, absolutely it does.
So, number 3, I'm going to ask you, what do you hear? 3 things you hear.
I hear, I think the landscapers are here, and I can hear a humming outside.
Yeah.
Hear your voice, and I can hear the soft hum of my laptop.
Yes, nice. Yeah. And when people live alone, it can be harder to hear things.
Yeah.
Sometimes the summer is nice because we hear the birds chirping. We hear, like you said, the humming of the lawnmower. And so there's a few more sounds.
Yeah.
But if somebody is alone and they're struggling with what they hear, I always challenge them to hear their own breath.
Mm-hmm.
Or what about hearing your own heartbeat?
Mm-hmm.
Really have to focus for that one. Yeah. Okay, down to number 2. What are 2 things that you smell right now?
Um, I had an incense going earlier, and I can smell that. And I do smell a hint of fresh grass being cut coming through the windows.
Absolutely nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very olfactory. So what I love is essential oils like the roll-ons or the
Mm-hmm.
sprays, the diffuser, and that just really brings me into focus.
Yeah.
It reminds me that here I am. I smell something, and then it reminds me of something in my past.
Yeah.
Lavender reminds me of the lavender flowers I had blooming last year in my garden. Just so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last one. What is one thing that you taste?
Toothpaste.
Ah,
Yes.
excellent. That one's always a little bit tougher because I don't notice many different tastes in my mouth
Mhm.
at once. But even if somebody had a glass of water, they could take a taste of that and really kind of taste the different parts of the water, whether it's tasting cool or tasting fresh or yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
I
I
really
just
like that, Melanie, that mindfulness exercise. And I feel repetitive saying this every week. But again, it's something that we have with us everywhere. Just like our breath, our senses are coming with us everywhere.
yes.
Yeah.
This is not an expensive strategy. I mean, it's just available anytime, anywhere. You don't have to prepare for it. You just go through it. Just
Yeah.
making a conscious choice to give it a try.
And it's nice that it is something a little bit more active. So you don't have to be still looking around and coming into the space with your eyes open.
That's right. You can do it while you're on a walk out in your neighborhood.
Mm.
You can do it while when all this is said and done. You can do it while you're at work or on the
Yeah.
bus or anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Melanie.
Yeah, I hope that everyone enjoys that, and I encourage people to try it out and just make it your own. Whatever way works for you. If it's 5 things you taste and 4 things you feel, well, whatever works for you. So
Yeah. I would also be curious and encourage people that have been following along with these videos. What have you noticed mindfulness bringing in for you, or benefits that you've noticed, or what has your experience with mindfulness been like?
yeah. So please put your comments down in our comment section. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like. Let us
Absolutely.
know what you'd like to see more of. We'd really like that feedback for sure.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time, Melanie. I really enjoyed this.
I'm glad that we got together today, Melissa. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you. Have a really good week.
Thanks, you too.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.